صباح الخير واهلا وسهلا فيكم ببرنامجكم صباحكم مع سماشي. معي انا هالة بسام اليوم الثلاثاء، ومثل ما معودينكم نغطي اخر الاخبار المتعلقه في عالم البزنس والتكنولوجيا وتحديدا في منطقتنا العربيه. واليوم اكيد بدنا نغطي اخبار العملات المشفره واسعار العملات المشفره وتحديدا عمله البيتكوين اللي هوت بالفتره الاخيره، وغطينا هذا الخبر امبارح ولكن استمرت بالهبوط لليوم ايضا العمله الرقميه البيتكوين، وعم تدهور اسعارها يعني بشكل كتير كبير لدرجة بين عام 2012 تقريبا ما شفنا هذا التدهور على الأقل. الآن عم بيتراجع سعر العملة الرقمية البيتكوين خلال تعاملات يوم أمس الاثنين وحتى اليوم نزلت إلى أقل من 40,000 دولار للعملة الرقمية الواحدة من البيتكوين لأول مرة منذ سبتمبر الماضي مثل ما شفنا، ولكن نسبة الهبوط كانت كبيرة جدا ما شفناها منذ عام 2012 تقريبا. تراجعت العملة الرقمية الأقل انتشاراً أيضاً الإثيريوم اليوم، في حين تراجع مؤشر بلومبرج جالاكسي للعملات الرقمية لليوم الرابع على التوالي شفناه أيضاً اليوم. أشارت أيضاً الوكالات أنه تراجع أهم عملة رقمية واللي هي عملة البيتكوين بنسبة 6% نزلت إلى أقل من 40,000 دولار مثل ما ذكرنا، ووصلت إلى 39,000 تقريباً و774 دولار، لتفقد تقريباً 14% من قيمتها منذ بداية العام الحالي. ومثل ما عم نشوف أيضاً في بعض المحللين وهي صدمة بالنسبة للمستثمرين في عالم العملات الرقمية، عم يتوقعوا تراجع العملة الرقمية البيتكوين تحديداً إلى أقل من 20,000 دولار بنهاية عام 2022، ولكن كنا نحن عم نسمع بالأعوام السابقة وتحديداً بعام 2021 إنه رح تصل العملة الرقمية البيتكوين إلى أكثر من 100,000 دولار أو على الأقل ستصل إلى حد 100,000 دولار، ولكن الآن عم نشوف إنه العملة الرقمية البيتكوين عم تتدهور، وبعض المحللين يتوقعوا أنه تنزل إلى أقل من 20,000 دولار. ولكن الفكرة بهذا الموضوع أنه إذا وصلت إلى 20,000 دولار فالعديد من المستثمرين سيشتروا العملة الرقمية ويستثمروا فيها بسبب هبوط العملة. بالإضافة إلى ذلك الآن تحديدا ونحن معكم حاليا العملة الرقمية البيتكوين وصلت إلى 42,000 دولار تحديدا، فعم تتذبذب ما بين ترتفع وتنزل. يوم أمس نزلت إلى أقل من 40,000 ووصلت إلى 39,000 دولار. حابة أحكي أيضا عن المدير التنفيذي لشركة باينانس أيضاً اللي عم بيزيح موكش أمباني من قمة أثرياء آسيا. حاب نوه أيضاً أنه المدير التنفيذي لمنصة باينانس، منصة باينانس تم اكتشافها أو تأسيسها في عام 2017 تقريباً. الثروة تبعه وصلت إلى 96 مليار دولار، هو رقم بينافس المليارديرات الموجودين في عالم التكنولوجيا مثل مارك زوكربيرغ مؤسس فيسبوك أو ميتا الآن اللي ثروته تبلغ 124 مليار دولار. طبعا إذا بدنا نقارن فيسبوك تم تأسيسها في عام 2004 تقريبا، بينما عم نحكي عن منصة باينانس اللي تم تأسيسها فقط في عام 2017، وعم ترتفع ثروة مؤسس باينانس. وعم نشوف طبعا انه في طلب كبير على التداول بالعملات الرقمية. صح انه هبطت سعر العملة الرقمية البيتكوين، ولكن بالمقابل عم نشوف كتير انه في دول عم تعتمد العملات الرقمية في التداول. اما اذا بدنا ننتقل الى ثاني خبر معنا لليوم ونحكي عن لعبة ضج فيها الانترنت بشكل كبير بالفترة الأخيرة، هي ترندنج على تويتر والعديد من الناس عم بيشاركوها على مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي الخاص فيهم، اسمها ووردل. هي مثل بازل أو مثل كروس وورد أو مثل ما بنقول كلمات متقاطعة، ولكن لعبة بتنزلوها على الانترنت. فكرة هذه اللعبة وليش حابين نشارككم؟ لأنه عدد مستخدميها بدأ ب90 مستخدم فقط، ولكن من الأحد الماضي وصل إلى 300,000 مستخدم، رقم ضخم جدا. بدأ وأسسها أصلا اسم اللعبة بحد ذاتها يعتبر كأنه بازل، اللي أسسها اسمه جوش واردل، فبالتالي هو غير الاسم تبعه من WARDL لاسم اللعبة لتصير WORDL اللي هي من الكلمات، ويعني تعني الكلمات المتقاطعة أيضا. فعم نشوف إنه هو محب جدا للكلمات المتقاطعة، أسس هذه اللعبة. بدأ طبعا مثل ما بيبدأوا العديد من رواد الأعمال مشروعا بين أصدقائهم بين عائلتهم، فعلا استخدمها تقريبا 90 شخص ما بين أصدقائه وعائلته، ولكن الآن ضجت فيها الانترنت والسوشيال ميديا بشكل كبير. إذا بتفتحوا تويتر تحديدا بتشوفوا كتير ناس عم بتشارك الصور والنتائج للكلمات المتقاطعة. الفكرة منها إنه فيكم تلعبوها مرة في اليوم فقط ولعدة دقائق، وهي ما بتاخذ من وقتكم أكثر من عدة دقائق في اليوم. فمثل إنه الواحد ممكن يشغل مخه عن طريق هذه اللعبة، يتسلى فيها أيضا ويشاركها مع أصدقائه يعني على السوشيال ميديا وغيرها. ولكن اللي عم نشوفه مثل ما ذكرنا أنه ضجت فيها مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي بشكل كبير، الناس عم تشاركها، وطبعا بلش عالم الميمز والنكت عم بيشاركوا هذا الموضوع. إنه في ناس أصلا مو فاهمين عن شو هاي البوكسات اللي الناس عم بتشاركها، لأنه لما بتشاركوا الصورة على مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي ما بيبين الكلمات المتقاطعة اللي انتم حليتوها، هي بتكون عبارة فقط عن النتيجة، والبوكسات بتكون مغلقة. لكل الناس اللي لعبت هذه اللعبة شاركونا، خبرونا رأيكم فيها، وإذا بتشاركونا النتائج أيضا تبعكم نحن بودنا نشوفها. أما عن آخر خبر معنا لليوم فنحكي عن الكويت. قرر مجلس الوزراء الكويتي الآن اتخاذ عدد من الإجراءات للحد من انتشار فيروس كورونا. عم نشوف في ارتفاع كبير للإصابات للأسف حول العالم وفي منطقتنا العربية أيضا، ودائما طبعا الحكومات عم تتخذ الإجراءات الاحترازية للحد من انتشار هذا الفيروس. الآن قرر مجلس الوزراء في الكويت تحديدا تحديد نسبة العاملين في مقار العمل الحكومية بما يتجاوز 50% فقط على أن تتولى كل جهة حكومية تحديد النسبة الملائمة لها أيضا بما لا يتجاوز هذا الحد. كما دعا أيضا مجلس الوزراء الكويتي القطاع الخاص أيضا لتخفيض عدد العاملين في مقار العمل إلى الحد الأدنى الممكن لتيسير الأعمال. وقرر أيضا مجلس الوزراء أن يقتصر عقد الاجتماعات والمؤتمرات وأيضا الدورات الداخلية عن طريق الاتصال عن بعد، وكله يصير عن بعد، على أن يتم العمل بهذه القرارات بداية من يوم الأربعاء 12 يوم غد 12 يناير. وكلف مجلس الوزراء أيضا الكويتي الهيئة العامة للرياضة بالتأكيد على الجماهير الحاضرة للأنشطة الرياضية بضرورة اكتمال تحصين ضد فيروس كورونا، وأيضا الالتزام بتطبيق الاشتراطات والإجراءات الاحترازية، مع التأكيد أيضا على العاملين ومرتدي الحضانات، نوادي الأطفال، محلات الحلاقة، أيضا الأندية الصحية بضرورة اكتمال التحصين ضد فيروس كورونا. إذا بنحكي على الإصابات بالكويت تحديدا، تشهد الكويت زيادة في أعداد الإصابات بفيروس كورونا خلال الفترة الماضية، حيث أعلنت وزارة الصحة الكويتية عن تسجيل 3683 إصابة جديدة بكورونا يوم أمس 11 يناير، بالإضافة للأسف إلى حالة وفاة واحدة، مما بيرفع إجمالي الإصابات بفيروس كورونا في الكويت منذ بداية الوباء إلى الآن إلى أكثر من 437 ألف حالة حتى الآن. هذه كانت كل أخبارنا الصباحية لليوم. رح أترككم أنا بعد شوي، معنا مقابلة مع مؤسس لتطبيق له علاقة باللياقة والصحة. خليكم معنا ولا تروحوا لبعيد.
And we're back with our guest Alberto, co-founder of FitLove. Thank you for being with us and welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning, Hala. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Good morning to you too. Tell us more about the launch of the application and give us a brief about the new application.
Absolutely. So FitLove is a new application where you can find and book nearby personal trainers. We offer any type of training on demand. So you can book like a typical fitness PT, but also like yoga, boxing, kickboxing, pre-postnatal, you name it. Our concept is almost like a Deliveroo of fitness, where you can just quickly browse the different styles and book easily within a few clicks. And yeah, as you said, we just launched it in December. We're getting like really good traction, and we're very happy to be here with you.
I'm gonna share my experience. I was trying the application, and then there's an offer also for like 30 minutes, I believe, like free consultation or something like that. And I immediately got the call as well to apply for that. So that's amazing. Can you tell us more about that as well?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing we realize is sometimes people need a bit of orientation, especially beginners in fitness. Not everybody knows so much the fitness space. And then what we do in our team, we have a couple of specialists, nutritionist and transformation coach, and they help the people know where to start. So that's the free consultation that you were talking about. A lot of people just need to open up about their problems. what are they looking for, and then basically we listen to them and we put a personal program for them so they can begin.
And that's very important because not a lot of people actually know what their body needs and everything. Like some people just go for the gym or a PT because everyone goes for it, but maybe your body needs Pilates at this point, or yoga, or. So yeah, I think it's very important. Can you tell us more about the journey of starting the tech app? Do you have an experience in launching any tech apps, for instance? Because it has a lot of challenges as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for us, it's been almost 3 years in terms of like designing and perfectioning our application. And me particularly didn't have any experience before doing an app or an e-commerce business. It was my first. So I made a lot of mistakes along the journey. But I think that, we spotted them quickly and we fixed them quickly. And as you said, I mean, it's difficult. I believe that when a user sees it, it looks more simple than the actual technology and engineering that goes behind
the scenes.
Exactly. Yeah, I think like an app that is as simple as ours, where you can use it very like easy, but at the same time, the logic behind is super complex, and it takes a lot of time to develop and to make it work smoothly.
Exactly. I have a question though, especially with tech apps. Like, do you think you should, as you said, like perfect the app and then launch it, or just launch and improve along the way?
Yeah, I believe the last one is for sure the best way. Launch quickly and learn about what's working, what's not working. That's also what we did in FitLove. Initially, we even launched without an application. So we were a website. Because websites are cheaper and faster to develop. So we put it out in the market and then we tested to see what's going on. And we realized that we made like several mistakes. So after that, we took the learnings and we developed the app based on what we have seen that works.
How did you figure out the mistakes? Did you listen to customer feedback or family and friends?
Yeah, well, I think it's super important to listen to customer feedback, listen to the demand. What are your users asking? So that is fundamental. But in our case as well, we're a two-sided platform where we have trainers and consumers. So we also need to listen a lot to the trainers. And I think one of the first things we realized in the first year of the company is that our first product was so complex that the trainers were not really understanding, therefore they didn't want to use it. So then we had to go through a wave of like simplifying everything so that we could get traction on both sides.
Yeah, because it's very easy for customers or people to bounce back when there's like difficulty maybe or something like that. But do you think like now, especially with COVID, like a lot of people are going into fitness, they understand the importance of it. Do you think this trend helped your app as well?
Yes, absolutely. For us, 2020, which was the year of COVID, was also like the year that we grew the most as a business. Definitely people were more reluctant to go to the gyms, and it was safer to get a personal trainer to your house. That helped us very much. And then there was also like a huge trend in which people started thinking more about their health and their wellness. And we definitely saw that, because that was a little bit of a mindset change in the head of everybody. And it was a beautiful trend to see. I think it continues today. And it probably will continue in this generation, because it was a very like intense experience that we all went through.
100%. And it's a self-funded startup, right? Like, can you share with us how, like realistically, how did you launch this app and the whole startup?
Yes, absolutely. As you said, we started self-funded. So it was the funds of me and my other co-founder. And that was enough to like launch a first test and see what was working, what was not working. But we were very limited in terms of resources, in terms of hiring people, marketing spend, and so on. So everything we did was like at small scale, but it was enough to experiment, I would say. And that was great, because in our case, me and my other co-founder were still working full time. So we opened the company as a side business. So that was a bit more intense for us in terms of work balance. But that gave us more time, more runway to test and experiment. And later on, when things started picking up and going well, and we found like the way to grow and so on, that's when we got a second investor that came in. It's an angel investor in the region, and then we raised $500,000 from this investor, and that really like changed a lot the company, because we could start doing way more on all fronts.
That's amazing. And a lot of people actually struggle between having a full-time job and then the dream to be an entrepreneur and having your own business. So this is a success story for them and a good example to actually that they can do it.
Yeah, and I think I agree with that. Everybody that is thinking to start a new business, I think you can definitely begin experimenting before quitting your full-time job, if that is like a concern that you have. Obviously, it's not the best. You can progress much faster in your new business if you're full-time. But if this is really like the key mental block for somebody that wants to be an entrepreneur, I think it's the easiest way to begin.
100%. What's the biggest challenge you faced in the startup life?
Well, we have faced many, to be honest, but I think like one of the biggest is like how to create like a really cool and productive culture within the company you're building. It sounds easier than what it is in real life. When you are 2 employees, your culture is due, but when you become 12, 15 employees, then it really like, it's something that is in the DNA, it's in the air in the office, and it really influences everything. I think every startup like that wants to succeed, you need to be very like aware of that, and you know, everybody pushing in the same direction, making better decisions every day, and that is actually quite tough to create. It's a lot of making sure you're hiring the right people, making sure you are coaching your people, you're staying close to them, you're not putting like any barriers to the type of environment that you're trying to create. So it's quite difficult. There's no like playbook on how to do it.
100%. It's experiment, I believe. Is there something that you really dislike, but you still did it anyways in your journey as an entrepreneur?
Something that I dislike, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think going in the same direction, like it's not all happy stories in the startup life. There is like setbacks that happen. There are tough moments you have to go through, and for me, for example, I care a lot about the people that are around me and that work for my company. Not all of them have worked in the sense of fitting well in the company and staying with us. So for me, that was, I mean, it's a tough thing that I've had to do. But I guess like every business owner has to go through that. Yeah. You dislike it, but sometimes you have to do it if it's what you think is best for the business.
That's true. And you said that it's a self-funded startup as well, and you started like with a self-investment between you and the co-founder. As a tech app, what do you think is the minimum amount you can start with to launch?
Yeah. I always say $100,000. That is actually the amount we started with, and I think it's difficult for any tech app business to begin with less than that, because the technology development of any application, even if it looks simple, when you go into the nitty-gritty details, it is way more complex. So I always think that costs at least $20,000 to $30,000 if you are like outsourcing that, and then you still need to have like more budgets to do like marketing, promotion, and operations. So I would say around $100,000. But yeah, this can also be like raised from family and friends, right? It doesn't need to be like your savings of $100K that you're putting on the line and having so much risk.
Exactly. What are your dreams or future plans, let's say, for FitLove?
Yeah, so our ambition is to become the #1 app in the Middle East for fitness and wellness on demand. So today we cover all type of personal training and nutrition as well. We will be adding soon wellness. So enabling like sports massage, acupuncture, and other types of therapies within the same app. And yeah, we believe that there's a huge market in the UAE, but there is also a huge market in the neighboring GCC countries. So our direction is to become the #1 app for that. We have like, I'm really proud of the technology we have. I think that today our application is probably like the most advanced for personal training that I've seen. And we have looked at other like really advanced countries like, you know, the UK, US, and so on. And I think we now need to like take it one level forward. So make it so good that is basically irresistible, and that we can really bring on board all the personal trainers that exist today in the UAE.
That's amazing. Best of luck, and thank you so much, Alberto, for being with us. And hopefully we see FitLove expands in the Middle East and even globally.
Perfect. Hopefully, indeed. Thank you so much, Hala. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. شكرا لكل الناس اللي تابعتنا. أنا بشوفكم بكرة بنفس الموعد. نهاركم سعيد جميعا.